Well, it's great to have you here. Now, have you been pastoring as a couple for many, many years, or was this a new endeavor for you?
Well, I went to Bible school, and after Bible school, I got into different ministries, became a pastor, and Irene and I worked in a church in Winnipeg. And then from there, we got involved with missions and went with Friends of Israel for 33 years.
Yeah.
And we're just retiring as of the 31st of this July.
Oh.
But we've also been taking on a pastorate at Country Harvest, which is at Friedenfeld West.
Okay, so Friends of Israel, that's a ministry. What does it do?
Well, it started back in 1938, and with the ministry to help Jewish people that were being persecuted, put to death during the Holocaust. And and a lot of people don't realize what happened, but over 6 million Jews were put to death. And there were men like Henry Ironside and men like him, and the women as well, that saw such a great need, and they started sending clothes and money, and it became like a refuge. We have workers in Israel,
okay,
but we also do tours. I've done 28 tours to Israel,
okay,
and I studied my archaeology there.
Oh,
and so I like history, and I know that for some that might be boring, but for me it's very exciting when you see history that is both physical and then becomes very spiritual.
Now, Irene, we've got to get you on this mic. I know you say that John does most of the talking, and he's the jokester too, and I really appreciate that kind of humor. But Irene, let's talk about music. You're playing the upright bass today, and you played at our Farmer Appreciation Lunch. Gospel music tends to be the theme. How did you get into music, and what was your first instrument?
I've always loved music since I was a little girl, and I loved the rich harmonies. And my dad helped me with learning to sing harmony, and I listened a lot to Louvin Brothers, where there's the really, really rich harmonies, and it just grew on me, and over the years we've come to see that music plays such an important thing in life. You can really encourage people with music. You can say things to people in music that you might not be able to say in another way, and so it's a real ministry tool. We go to Salem every Wednesday morning, and even people who cannot respond to you, all of a sudden you see a smile, or you see a toe tapping,
yes.
and then you know that you've made a difference in their life for that day. You've brought a little sparkle of joy, and
yeah, for sure, you are a blessing. That's wonderful. Now, John, did you marry Irene because she's so talented and beautiful?
Well, it was actually, I was about 17 years old when I heard Irene sing, and I fell in love with her, even though she had wanted nothing to do with me, because she didn't even know who I was, and I was just a guy out in the crowd, and it would be 10 years later that we would find each other again. She came to Ashern, and she was working in a children's group home, and she came to the church where I was preaching, and I was singing that Sunday at the hospital in Ashern, and she came along, and when I heard her sing, my head kind of just turned, and I said something that I have hardly ever said. Would you like to go out for a cup of coffee? Because I don't drink coffee, never have drank coffee. And she said yes. And so,
end of story.
Yeah.
Well, beginning of new story.
And we've been together now 42 years. And so.
Wow, that's incredible. So, Irene, do you like John now?
There's been a pause here.
Yes, I do.
what's your story with music? Did you grow up in a musical family?
No, they had no instruments, but my mom loved bluegrass music, and she had all the records of Bill Monroe and the Flats and Scruggs and many other groups, like even like the Louvin Brothers and the Country Gentlemen, and I would hear it play over and over again, and it was something that kind of resonated with me. I grew up in a very troubled area. There was a lot of abuse, physical abuse, spiritual, even spiritual, and just at 15 I almost ended my life. And I look back now and I think, wow, what all the things I would have missed, and how God has just blessed, and I feel like I'm one of the most blessed men, not because I have a lot of stuff, but because of where I've been, where He's taken me, that I never would have planned on.
It's a true story of hope. And so you find that in the music, you find that healing and hope.
Yeah, and encouragement. And like Irene, we go to Salem, we go to Evergreen here in Winkler, we go to Maples every once in a while, we go to Eden Homes, and just like when you see how people smile, sometimes like they're slumped over and there's no response, and all of a sudden you start singing and they start tapping their toes, or they try to sing, and they bring encouragement to you. But one of the things that I found is, like, one guy, as in the middle of the song, he was all kind of bent over, and we kind of took a little bit of a break, like going from the chorus to the next verse, and we kind of did a little run, and in the middle of it he says, "I love you, John." And I didn't grow up with that, with people saying that. I didn't grow up, I didn't hear the word love till I was about 50 years old, and that was from my dad, and my dad had already come to know the Lord. But when this man just said it to me, I didn't know what to do with it. But I really appreciate that, because I think people need to encourage you, and you need to encourage them, and what a blessing it is.